Yeah, we can hear you very well. Thank you.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, first of all, on behalf of the Palestinian people and their leaders, it's my great honor to extend our sincere gratitude and warm greetings to all Indonesian people for their strong positions in supporting the most important issues in the world, which is humanitarian cause and just cause, namely the Palestinian cause. As I would like to express our thanks and appreciation to the organization committee for inviting us to take the floor and to talk in this dialogue that carries a significant topic about the role of religions in Palestine to stop the policy of discriminations and apartheid regime of the occupying power. Ladies and gentlemen, my brothers and sisters, Palestine is a holy land, important to Muslims, Christians, and even Jews. We are not against anyone about his religion. Everyone has the right and freedom to believe whatever he wants. Where God the Almighty says there is no force in religion. You have your religion and I have my religion. But the struggle of our people is a struggle over truth, is a struggle over existence, and struggle over the dignity of humanity. Palestine is blessed land. It is the land of religions, the land of the prophets, and it's the land of tolerance and coexistence among all human beings. The various religious leaders, Muslim, Christian, and even Jews, and their followers must achieve a peace based on right, freedom, and law, not based on aggression. Brothers and sisters, the situation in Palestine, it is not a religion conflict. It's a political conflict. But try the Israelis to tweet it to religion problem. Religious tolerance in Palestine is a model to be followed and one of the best examples of the coexistence in the world. There is no wars or religious conflict in Palestine. The Palestinian people, with their Muslim and Christian, have preserved the culture of tolerance and coexistence since long time, despite the historical injustice they have been subjected to for years. They called up with all the ears of a mosque and the bell of every church the hymn of mercy, love, and peace. This is evident in all religious and national occasions, as you will find Christian is participating in Muslim events and vice versa. Muslim and Christian live next to each other and they share their joys and sorrows. Actually, even myself, I was in school and we have Christian and Muslim. We don't know our religion even. We don't ask. We are brothers, sisters, and friends. Palestinian people consider peace as an important part of the life. We accepted the fact of the historical injustice which come to our people because of the division and stealing of our historical land. Actually, we accepted only 20% of our historical land because we believing about the peace. We want our children to stay in peace. We believe that peace cannot be achieved by one party without the another. Look at the Israeli now, new government. They are extremists. They will never believe about peace. But the other party is still refusing to accept the decision of the international legitimacy and the signed peace agreements. Brothers and sisters, we have so many resolutions in the United Nations. We have so many resolutions even in Security Council. And I believe most people around the world, they know the truth. But the problem, nothing is implemented. I believe if there is a will and there is international real pressure on the Israeli to implement the United Nations resolution and to respect the international law, this will not be happening. See, every day they kill kids, ladies, journalists. Maybe you know what happened before. They killed so many journalists in Palestine. Even they are protected based on all international law. And they never accept investigations from external, that they want to investigate the issue. How come they are investigating what they have done? How we believe about that? In addition to that, peace in Palestine and the world will not be achieved without implementing the independence of the state of Palestine with East Jerusalem as its capital. There is no peace or stability in the region without that. Ladies and gentlemen, Indonesia is supporting our people to get our independence. As mentioned in the Indonesian constitutions, that colonialism all over the world must be abolished, and the independence of Indonesia will not be completed unless Palestine is independent. The relationship between Indonesia and Palestine at all levels is always present, and Indonesia stands continuously and loudly supporting Palestinian cause and backing the Palestinian cause. For that purpose, we would like to convey to you that the Palestinian people highly appreciated Indonesian position and principles of the people towards Palestine and its cause. What Indonesia is doing today, in the past, and also in the future, we are very confident about that, is an affirmation of the brotherhood ties that unite the two people and the two countries in all areas of life and politics. Therefore, we consider this relationship to be respected and appreciated by both parties. And our people in Palestine receive this support with love and respect. And I would like to assure you that Palestinian people will continue to struggle until they achieve their justice, freedom, independence, and for the refugee to return to their homes. And Jerusalem is the only Palestinian capital. Brother and sister, I am personally, in 2015, I write a novel about tolerance in Islam. Because as a Muslim, I read Quran in details, and we respect all religions. And my novel shows that historical, how the relationship between Muslim and Christian in Palestine, and now they are facing the same problem. So now Israeli consider every Palestinian is enemy, whatever he is Muslim or Christians. And you know how many times they attacked churches in Bethlehem, in Jerusalem. So they don't differentiate between Muslim and Christian. That's why I really feel that I need to write. I wrote the novel, but it's actually in Arabic. I wish one day it will be translated to Indonesian language to show our culture and to show our harmony between Palestinian, Muslim, and Christians. Thank you very much. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Okay, thank you very much.
I might speak
Metani.
about the whole of the questions I can see. The
Okay,
problem is Israel in the international community consider is above the law. You can see is violate all international law, all international humanitarian law. If you can see what's happened, like with Shireen Abu Akleh, based on our topic, religion. She is a Christian and she's a journalist, and they killed her, and nothing happened in the world. If Israeli happened to him like this, all the world stand. You know, this is really very painful for the Palestinians people, because they see our resolution in the United Nations, all supported with majority of the countries. I tell you other example. All the two-state solution come not from Palestinian, come from the international community, come from Americans and Europe, and we agree about it. But some Europe country until now doesn't recognize Palestine as a state. How come you believe about two-state solutions and until now you are not recognizing Palestine as a state? Even though we have all institutions, we have the human resource, we have the higher level education all over the world, we respect the human rights, we respect women's rights, we have all institutions, you know. And I might also say about the question, it seems that their prayer are not fulfilled by God. No, we need your prayer. We need your prayer. But so many ways to help Palestinians. So many ways. I believe if there is a real international pressure on Israel, the Palestinian case will be solved. I give you two examples. The first example, once Australia wanted to move their embassy from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, Indonesia stopped that. And we have to say it, and we thank Indonesia for that. Because Indonesia officially said to the Australian, you might cut all economic relation with Indonesia. So the country, they think, what's the benefit of doing that? So we lose Indonesia, we might lose so many Muslim countries, you know, and we lose economic. What they get benefit of the having relationship with Israel. The second thing, look now about the war between Russia and Ukraine. Of course, as Palestinian, we wish all problem in the world to solve peacefully, and we don't support war. But see, all the international community now against Russia and call this is occupation, and there is a economic cut between Europe countries and Russia, right or not? And so many pressure on Russia to stop the war. And last week, more than $100 billion support Ukraine, some from European Union and some from USA. But this is also occupation in Palestine. Why is not, they look at it same way, and they look between the war between Russia and Ukraine. You know, last time I did a survey, research, case study. What the people, you know, the media play games, NGOs play games, so many things. What do you know? Only one question, and it was university students. What do you know about Rwanda genocide? More than 100,000 people killed. 95% of my sample, they never know about that. What do you know about Sabra and Shatila? They killed more than 3,000 Palestinians, Israeli. 97% it was in Malaysia. And they are Muslim, they don't know about that. But everybody knows about September 11. And only killed 3,000 people, right? Why this double standard? Why this double standard? And regarding the question about our sisters, you mentioned normalization with Israel. Actually, there is Arab initiative peace, and there is the roadmap, and there is resolution in the United Nations about it. We don't against normalization, but it was from A to Z. First, give the Palestinians their rights, and second, We all Muslim country normalize with Israel, no problem. But if you give Israel whatever they want, without giving the Palestinians their right, how do you think you make a pressure on that? Agree or not? How you make a pressure if you normalize for nothing? But if they give the Palestinians their right, of course, even we Palestinians, it was like compromise. If you give us our rights, even though it was very much painful for us to accept only 22% of our historical land. We, based on the Arab Initiative, we accept all Muslim countries, the 57 countries, to normalize with Israel, but not without giving anything. See Palestine, what is going on. Settlements is increased. Every day they kill people. So more than 4,000 or 5,000 people in the jail. 36 ladies, hundreds of kids, pregnant ladies in jail. So why you are giving rewards to Israel? You give rewards to Israel for what they are doing. And see the government now in Israel. Do you know what's the new government? They are extremists. They mention death for all Arabs, death for all Muslims. And if our Palestinian government like this, all the people around the world will against it, right or not? And every day they attack Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa. And some of them now become ministers. Before they were in Knesset and just only attacking Al-Masjid Al-Aqsa and kill people. So for this, you're asking how to help Palestinians. If you want to normalize with Israel without giving Palestinians their rights, this is not helping actually. The second, this is against Indonesia constitutions, right? Because they believe no country occupied other country, you know? And it's based on the international law, Palestine under occupation. According to the resolution, the Security Council 2334, all settlements illegal. And Al-Aqsa Mosque and East Jerusalem is belong to Palestine and the capital of Palestine. You know, but you see, nothing happened. Nothing is implemented on the ground. We asked about Shireen Abu Akleh to be like international investigator, how she was killed. We are very sure she was killed by the Israeli. They rejected. Now they make pressure on us not to go to international court. Why? If you have the right, why you worried to go to the court, right or not? Our cause is very fair and very clear for everybody. Palestinians under occupation. And I invite all of you in this Zoom to visit Palestine and see how Palestine is struggling. See how difficult to move from city to city. See how many checkpoints. See how they deal with the people in the way they insult the people. But still the Palestinian steadfastness. Still the Palestinian taking care of their education. Still the Palestinian building the institutions. They will never find leadership like our President Mahmoud Abbas who believe about peace. Even late Paris, he mentioned that in this time we can make peaceful solution with the Palestinians. And even in the European Union, the American, they know that our president believes about peace. And this is his strategy. But the Israeli don't accept that, you know, they don't accept that. And they try to make more pressure on Palestinian to increase the extreme people in Palestine, you know. And the peace, the people who believe about the peace now in Palestine start to go down. They don't, because we see, they don't give us anything. So hopefully I try to answer some of the questions. Thank you.
Mr. Ahmed, Mr. Hadi, and Mr. Pasha. What I'm always thinking about is that have Palestinian government made a kind of workshop in order to find effective strategies of how to chase and to stop the occupation of Israelis in Palestine. This is what I'm always thinking about. And we know that we cannot only complain, and we have already seen the fact that American and European Union does not support Palestinians with the occupation of Israel. Even they support, it seems to me that they support. And now is that what kind of strategies, effective strategies that we should do? Mr. Hadi Purnama said just now that we need time in order to have the independence of Indonesia, 60 years of Indonesia to gain our independence. But now this is a kind of modern world now. So I think Palestinian government should try to find out and have a kind of intensive meeting in order to find effective strategies to chase the Israelis from Palestine. Thank you so much.
I might talk about these questions. In my opinion, the Palestinian government, they are doing their best. But you have to know that the Palestinian people and the country of Palestine under occupation and our enemy have a nuclear power and supported by the superpower. If there is no external pressure on Israel, a real one, you know, it's very difficult to be solved from inside Palestine. Palestinians, they don't have weapons, they don't have anything, and Israeli nuclear power. And they treat Palestinians in very tough way. So before, you know, PLO before, since they were in Beirut and they believe about to have it is not really balanced war because they are equipped more, you know, with their tanks, blah, blah. But then we change our strategy to solve our problem in peaceful way. If you go to Palestine and see how the government, they make our institutions, if you look at the education system, if you look at the health system, if you look at all ministries, you shock, you surprise. This is a real country with all human resource, with everything, Palestine is a small country. You know, if we have, our problem is not financial, it's politics. Do you know if we solve our problem, Palestine will be one of the richest country because the number of people is very few, you know. Even if we rely on like Muslim and Christian tourists, you know, in Palestine, that's enough for Palestinians. And once the peace process was started and late Yasser Arafat entered Palestine, he mentioned, I will make Palestine Singapore in that time. But the Israeli give the limitation. I'm sure if European Union or like USA are real serious to solve the Palestinian problem based on the international law and United Nations resolutions, I'm sure it will be solved. We are not asking more than to implement United Nations resolutions. As our president said, where to go? Once I go to, maybe you have heard his speech in United Nations for the last few years. He was speaking very frankly. He said, just implement your resolution. It's shame of the international community give resolution in Security Council and is not implemented in Palestine. Thank you.
Ahmed Metani, Ambassador, Your Excellency, Mr. Hadi Purnama raised a very good solution to you, to Palestinians, in order to solve the problems between Israel and Palestinian that is gathering support from many, many countries. And I think this is a good point that we can write down in order to have the solutions of the conflict. And according to Hadi Purnama, this is actually colonization. And I agree with it, that this occupation is a kind of colonization. And even Mr. Hadi said it is a traditional colonization. And if we back to the history of Indonesian independence, I agree with Mr. Hadi that it is because we got support from many, many countries. Now the question is that superpower American and European countries support Israel in this case with the occupations in the Palestine. And my question is, again, I try to raise this question because this is a very strategic question that we have to solve in order that Your Excellency Ahmed Metani from the Embassy of the Palestine can have an actions of how to solve the problems at present. So gaining support from many, many countries. But if the countries is weak in terms of many, many things, then it is not useful. What I'm thinking about is Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia is, do you think that Saudi Arabia is a strong country that can force American and European countries to stop the decolonizations in Palestine?
Mr. Masadi, sorry, due to limited time, I think we have a little more time left to asking the questions. Is there any questions again, Mr. Masadi?
Yeah, I just further questions. How to stop American and European, and I'm thinking about Saudi Arabia, whether Saudi Arabian and Arabian countries, Arabic countries can help Palestinians in order to force American and European Union to stop the occupations in Israel, not to support in terms of weapons. And now you know that Palestine does not have strong weapon in order to solve the problems in order to stop the occupations of the Israel. So we have to send guns, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got your question. I want to tell you something. Our brother in Saudi Arabia is the most country who is supportive to Palestinian cause since the occupation in 1948. In all means, they support Palestine in so many ways, especially financially. And they got so many qualified people, Palestinians who work in Saudi Arabia and send money to their families, because this is how people can stay in Palestine. But we don't our people to leave the country searching for work, you know. Besides, in my opinion, not Saudi Arabia only an Arab country, also Muslim country, and all people around the world who believe about freedom. We need the support not only we need the support from the Muslim and Christians and every person who believe about freedom fighter. Every person, he has principles that Palestine's under occupation. In my life, I meet people from different religions, from different countries, even European, and they are very supportive for our cause. Maybe I surprise you if I tell you there are Americans who are really supportive for Palestinian cause. I'm not talking about government, people. Even some Jewish community in the world who supportive to Palestinian cause. Some Jewish, because they are a human being. They have principles, you know. Like I give you names, some like Naum Chomsky, you know, everybody knows. Norman Finkelstein, you know. Those people, they are not allowed to enter Israel because they are supporting Palestinian cause and they are Jewish. And this is related to our topic. Is it religion conflict or political conflict? So many Jewish, they support the Palestinian cause because they're still a human being. And they believe once the Jewish community came to Palestine, we received them as refugees. We put them in our houses. We feed them. But after that, the UK started to train them and give them the weapons. Actually, our problem started from Balfour promised, you know, in 1917, once they promised to give Palestine to Israel, give the people who do not own to the people who do not deserve, you know, and it started the problem from that. And later on, but now we need the international community, all international community, to be united based on the human rights principle, based on the international law principle, based on the resolution in the international communities. As our brother Hadi mentioned, that Indonesia support us in non-alignment movement, in OIC, in ASEAN. So it's so many ways, so many ways to support the Palestinians. And our government, you know, our Minister of Foreign Affairs, maybe every week he go to 3-4 countries to say our story, you know, to tell about, to convince, see the parliament, the people, the officials, because we believe this also make a pressure on the government to take action. But we are very optimistic because Palestinians have the right, and we, inshallah, we will get our independent state with East Jerusalem as its capital one day, because Palestinians, they will never accept to lose Jerusalem, or they will never leave their homes again. No way now. Thank you.